Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to yet another live stream. Happy Saturday, November 29th. In this video, we're going to talk about a new discovery, something that we've talked about over here on this YouTube channel many months back when we saw an increase in airplane malfunctions around the world. We kind of wondered if maybe the sun and solar activity could be influencing some of this activity, not necessarily all of it, but at least some of it. It just makes sense to me and the guys that I work with. What's going on, Joanne, Ben, and Damon? Good to see you guys. And apparently, they have come to the conclusion that there is some credibility to that, and that we are in the middle of solar maximum, and intense solar radiation storms can and do affect airplane travel, sometimes to the effect of they've grounded 6,000 aircraft today. Airbus grounds 6,000 aircraft worldwide over solar radiation flaw. Unbelievable story we're going to come back and take a closer look at here in just a moment. Make sure you guys hit the like button. That helps send the video out there a little bit farther. We're going to come back and read about that story in detail. But what that story involves is the sun. And the sun is getting ready to kick back into high gear. It's been quiet for a few days, at least on the Earth-facing side of the sun. This is what's turning towards the Earth right now. I had the full disc up when I first started the live stream. Now I'm going to show you guys up close. These are some hyperactive sunspots. This entire active region is hyperactive. Here's where it's at right now. This is looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun. These sunspots in active regions are turning towards the Earth. Here they are up close, and they have been super active, to say the least. It's really no telling how many X flares they've ripped off the backside of the sun. You're going to see one right there. That was earlier today. That was yet another high-speed ejection that came off the east side of the sun. There it is again. With a large CME. All of this energy is turning towards the Earth, and it's been apparently affecting airplanes and air traffic just in general with regard to Airbuses. That's what they're looking at, and we're going to talk about that right now. We're just going to hop right in. I've also got some other things to share with you guys. Things falling from the sky that you don't normally see. Here's a look at solar storms that do generate intense solar radiation. And they're saying that this intense solar radiation is affecting these Airbus airplanes. And there was an incident back in October. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but the aircraft, for unknown reasons, dropped about 15,000 feet and startled the passengers and obviously the pilot. They didn't know what happened. They're blaming it now on intense solar radiation, somehow affecting the software of these particular aircraft. An emergency directive has been issued requiring immediate software updates or hardware replacement on approximately 6,000 A320 family aircraft after discovering that intense solar radiation can corrupt flight control data, potentially causing pilots to lose control at high altitude. And that article is coming from this source right here, newsghana.com, dated today, November 29th, 2025. We've been talking about this for quite some time. You know, if the sun can affect the Earth, why couldn't it affect everything on the Earth, living or non-living? I mean, these aircraft are flying up at 40,000 feet right in the middle of some of these intense solar radiation storms. So why wouldn't they absorb the energy just like everything else does? The unprecedented action affects about half of Airbus's global fleet, and it comes after a JetBlue Airways A320 experienced an uncommanded altitude drop. This is what I was talking about earlier, on October 30th, injuring at least 15 passengers and forcing an emergency landing in Florida. The plane was flying from Cancun, Mexico to Newark, New Jersey when it suddenly pitched downward without pilot input. Airbus said analysis of the incident revealed that intense solar radiation may corrupt data critical to the functioning of flight controls. So they've been studying that incident since it occurred, and this is their conclusion. They went on to say the company worked with aviation authorities to issue an alert operations transmission, an AOT, requiring immediate precautionary action from operators. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, issued an emergency airworthiness directive on November 28th, just yesterday, stating the condition could, in the worst case scenario, lead to uncommanded elevator movement, stating that that may exceed the aircraft's structural capability. Airlines must address the issue before the aircraft can carry passengers again. Through ferry flights without passengers to maintenance facilities are permitted. Or they go on to say, though ferry flights without passengers are permitted. The vulnerability affects Airbus A318, A319, A320, and A321 models. Approximately 2/3 of aircraft affected can be fixed with a software rollback, talking about maybe taking about 3 hours. More than 1,000 jets may require hardware changes, threatening much longer waits, according to industry sources. The grounding disrupts global operations during one of the busiest travel periods of the year. American Airlines reported 343 planes affected and from its A320 Airbus family fleet and has already grounded 30 airplanes. Air France canceled 38 flights, representing 5% of its daily operations. Hungary's Wizz Air and Air India are conducting round-the-clock software updates literally right now as we're doing this video. In Australia, Jetstar Airways canceled around 90 flights after confirming 34 of its 85 Airbus 320s were affected. Further disruptions are expected through the weekend. Air New Zealand has grounded its A320 NEO fleet as a precautionary measure. Even though they haven't had problems, they don't want any. In the United Kingdom, airport disruptions have been limited so far. Gatwick reported some disruptions, while Heathrow has not seen cancellations just yet. British Airways appears minimally affected. EasyJet expects some disruptions, but has completed updates on many aircraft and plans full service by Saturday. Tim Johnson, policy director at the UK Civil Aviation Authority, said the Airbus notice may mean some disruption, delays, or cancellations over the coming days. He described the mass grounding as a very rare event, but reassured passengers that aviation remains one of the safest forms of transportation. Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander noted the UK airline impact appears limited and praised swift identification and planned resolution of the problem as evidence of high global aviation safety standards. The problem involves the elevator aileron computer, the ELAC, which controls the aerodynamic surfaces used to make aircraft pitch up or down and roll to turn. Investigators determined that the JetBlue aircraft Thales ELAC-2 flight control computer malfunctioned during the October incident and was subsequently replaced. The sun follows an 11-year active cycle, which we're in the middle of solar cycle 25 right now, and its peak is 2024 and 2025, and going into early part of 2026, which may explain the timing of the vulnerability emerging now. Airbus believes the October incident is the only known occurrence of this specific problem. The A320 family uses fly-by-wire technology where cockpit controls are processed by computers rather than directly connected mechanically to flight systems. Launched back in 1984, the A320 was the first mainstream plane to introduce fly-by-wire computer controls. It competes with Boeing, the 737 MAX, which suffered a lengthy worldwide grounding after crashes in 2018 and 2019. From poorly designed software. Airbus acknowledged the recommendations will lead to operational disruptions and apologized in advance for the inconvenience. The company said it's fully committed to supporting operations and operators and emphasized that safety remains its top priority. Aviation analyst Sally Gethin described the event as very much out of the ordinary, and it truly is. We talk about things over here that are definitely out of the ordinary. stationary. And this is something that we've talked about over here many months ago. We've followed the trends of aircraft. Remember back when we were talking about the increase in airplanes that were, for whatever reason, landing in communities and on highways, and helicopters for unknown reasons, making emergency landings, and now large airplanes. We were trying to connect the dots to something, and we were looking at the possibility that it could be the sun. Well, it looks like maybe, just maybe, at least Airbus has considered that as the culprit of what happened back on October 30th. So anyway, the abrupt recall comes at a time that intense demands on airline repair shops already dealing with shortages of maintenance capacity and groundings of hundreds of Airbus jets due to long waiting times for separate engine repairs or inspections. Demand for single-aisle jets has surged in recent years as economic growth, particularly in Asia, has brought millions of new travelers into the skies. Originally designed to serve hubs, the A320 family was later widely adopted by low-cost carriers and has become the best-selling passenger aircraft in the world. But right now, it's dealing with a software flaw that is influenced by solar radiation. Intense solar radiation that generally comes to the Earth via these strong solar storms that we've been seeing here recently. And guys, we're going to see more, possibly like what you're seeing on the screen right now. That is a high-intensity solar proton storm that engulfed the Earth back many years ago, but it can happen again. And to be quite honest with you, we don't really know the sun's full capabilities. We know it's capable of pretty much anything. We don't know what the strength of the flaring has been on the backside of the sun here recently. It's been very, very strong, but exactly how strong, we don't know, because we don't have instruments back there measuring the solar flare activity. But you can see over here on the stereo ahead spacecraft, I've got this set for the past week, and you can see that the backside of the sun has been hurling solar or CMEs and all kinds of activity jumping off. Again, these are either from solar flares with very large CMEs, like there's one right there. That could have been a filament eruption. Either way, all of that energy is turning towards the Earth. We're probably going to see more geomagnetic storms here in the next 5 to 6, maybe 7 days. We don't know how strong yet, but according to this sunspot and the looks of this sunspot, that's what's created the vast majority of this energy that we're seeing on the backside of the sun, or that we've seen on the backside of the sun, came from this region right here. And we're seeing it right now. So if we can see it, it's going to send energy towards the Earth. So look for an increase just like that right there. That one was today. Yet another high-speed, very large CME that departed off the surface of the sun. So once again, guys, 6,000 planes grounded right now until they can figure out a solution to the solar intrusion that's interfering with the software, causing the planes to temporarily malfunction. They're working on it, and everything should be fine here very, very soon. I want to thank all you guys for joining me today on your Saturday. Thanks for who's that? Somebody sent a message. Oh, thank you there, Shirley. Appreciate the gift. And Shirley is a new member. Thank you, Shirley. If you guys want to become Star Family members, the link's down below in the description box. Also, bookmark the sounds of the sea. You guys will enjoy that, especially on nights that you're having trouble sleeping. You won't have any trouble sleeping once you turn on that video. So go down into the description box, bookmark that video, save it to your favorites, and trust me, if you're having trouble sleeping, that will definitely help you sleep. Sounds by the Sea by Mr. MBB333. Here we go, guys. Here's a couple of bonus videos that I've got for you guys. This one here's got some sound. Sent in by, who was this sent in by? Jared Wolf out of Racine, Ohio. We were talking about debris and how the large asteroid that went through the moon, howdy 627, welcome to the family. What's up, Keir Stark? Got all kinds of Star Family members today. Yay! Nice to see all you wonderful people here today. I'm going to let the viewer explain what he's seen here, and you guys can listen to what Jared had to say when he looked up and saw this in the daytime sky.
Wonder what the hell this is. I didn't see it enter.
I don't know, guys. That definitely doesn't look like an airplane. Check that out. What do you think it is? He didn't know what it was.
That's crazy. I don't know what that is.
Well, you heard him himself. He said that's crazy. He didn't know what that was. Something literally falling through the daytime sky. We talked about the large 1,000-foot asteroid that went through the solar system. Well, actually went through the Earth-Moon system, not necessarily between the Earth and the Moon, but close enough to be considered a near-Earth object. Those never travel alone. I'm wondering if this is some of the debris, possibly from the large asteroid. We've seen a huge increase in the NEO list over at the NASA JPL, but this was just spotted a few days ago.
I don't know what that is.
Out of Racine, Ohio. Great video. More debris. Can you believe it? Check this out. This video was sent in by Charlie from just a few days ago. I don't know the exact location. All I know, it was sent in by Charlie on the 22nd. Check this out. Notice some debris entering the atmosphere. Unlike the debris that we just saw, if that is debris, I don't know what it is, something falling straight down. This was going horizontal. Check this out. Something flying horizontal, once again in broad daylight in the middle of the day. Look. Is that a meteorite breaking up? Is that space debris re-entering the atmosphere? And then it disappeared over there behind the clouds. But it was visible for several seconds, right? And then disappeared right there. You can still kind of see it behind the clouds. One more time. That was pretty good. That was a great catch by Charlie. Right as it entered the atmosphere. We saw a video like this yesterday from New Brunswick. Didn't disintegrate like this, but it remained intact, and it came in at about that same angle right there. So there seriously has been a debris field in the vicinity of the Earth, and some of the debris does get pulled in. It's affected by Earth's gravity. That's why it comes in, like this fireball you're going to see right here during a recent geomagnetic storm. Huntsville, Alabama. Chris sent in this video. You can see the aurora over here on the left. That would be to the north. He's looking to the east now, and as he was looking to the east, look what happened. More meteorites. Are you serious? Yes, we are serious. We have had more meteorites, it seems like, in the last month than we've had in the last 6 months, probably thanks to the large asteroid that just went hurling through the inner solar system. Yeah, make sure you like the video, guys. Sure do appreciate that. Coming over here to the homepage of the website. Today's feature photo was sent in by Jody Overstreet out of Park Hills, Missouri. That is a view of the moon the other night, and for some reason the sky in the vicinity of the moon, the clouds anyway, were a very unusual, like orange, glowing, kind of a reddish orange color. I don't know, it just looked very weird. I don't know if that was some sort of debris, more debris, maybe dust, wildfire smoke. I wouldn't think wildfire smoke in Missouri, but something was causing the clouds to look a different color. That's what compelled him to take the photo. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux, you can see in the last 24 hours there have been 4 M-class solar flares. Actually 5 if you count that one there. This one was yesterday. So if we go back to yesterday, we have seen in the last 26 hours 6 M-class solar flares. So trust me when I say this area right here is primed and ready for action. It has beta, gamma, and delta magnetics. So these M-class flares come easy to those sunspots in active regions. So we will more than likely be adjusting the X-class solar flare number over here, which right now during solar cycle 25, we have seen 83 X-class solar flares. Look for that number to go up, especially over the next 7 days. Looking at the planetary K index, all in all, pretty quiet. We did see a little bit of activity 3 days ago, a small G1 geomagnetic storm. But again, that more than likely is going to change here in the coming days. So once again, guys, 6,000 aircraft worldwide have been grounded over a solar radiation flaw that's causing malfunctions in software of the Airbus A320 family. I'll keep you guys updated as we move forward in time on the progress of the the software upgrades, and they're saying that in some cases they may have to change out some hardware. So good to see everybody here on this fine Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great day. And once again, thanks for spending part of your Saturday with me over here at Mr. MBB 333. Time is our most precious commodity, and thanks for sharing part of your time with me. Be brave, be strong, and be wise.